What's up guys, it's Buster Brown 2K here, back with a video, and today we're going to be talking about Dr. Ratio because he's coming up fairly soon. We're going to talk about my best team I think he's going to be on, what I think will be his best team. We're going to go over his skills real quick and go over his traces as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with his basic attack, which is just a basic attack. I'm not going to show you that one because it's just a basic attack. But his skill does imaginary damage up to 150% of his attack, and then when he uses his skill, for each debuff on the target, his crit rate increases by 2.5% and his crit damage by 5%. This effect can stack up to 6 times. So for each debuff on the target, he gets more crit rate and more crit damage. So the more uh, you know, debuffs you have on them, the more damage you'll do. And then interference, when skill is used to attack an enemy target, there is a 100% base chance to reduce the attack target's effect res by 10% for 2 turns. This effect res is pretty much just the ability of them to resist your, like, if you like when I'm gonna show you your Welt's ultimate, his imprisonment. That's basically what that is. So it reduces the chances of them to resist your imprisonment. And then we're gonna go ahead and look at his ultimate, which is deals damage equal to 240% of Dr. Ratio's attack to a single target enemy, and applies Wiseman's Folly. When Dr. Ratio's allies attack a target afflicted with Wiseman's Folly, Dr. Ratio launches his talent's follow-up attack one time against this target. Wiseman's Folly can be triggered for up to 2 times and only affects the most recent target of Dr. Ratio's ultimate. This trigger count resets after Dr. Ratio's ultimate is used. So basically, his ultimate is a free 2 follow-up attacks, guaranteed. And I'm not sure exactly how you proc it. I'm pretty sure anyone like hits them with like a skill or something, or just hits them, it procs his follow-up attack. So does anything hits him, it procs his follow-up attack, which is very nice if you don't have that many debuffs on it. So it'll at least, if you can like just make it his ultimate up, if you don't have the debuffers, so that'll be an option for you. And then we're gonna go ahead and look at his talent, which is his talent is, when using his skill, Dr. Ratio has a 40% fixed chance of launching his follow-up attack against his target one time, dealing imaginary damage equal to 270% of Dr. Ratio's attack. For each debuff the target enemy has, the fixed chance of launching follow-up attack increases by 20%. If the target enemy is defeated before the follow-up attack triggers, the next follow-up attack will be directed at a single random enemy instead. And then deduction, when dealing damage to a target that has 3 or more debuffs. For each debuff the target has, the damage dealt by Dr. Ratio to his target increases by 10% up to a maximum of 50%. So basically what this means is, if you can get up to 3 debuffs in an enemy, that'll be up to, I think, 100% follow-up attack. So if you can easily get 3 debuffs onto the enemy right away, every time you use your skill with Dr. Ratio, he will be follow-up attacking every single time. And we'll go over his technique. It doesn't really matter because it's not that crazy. You probably want to be using your welts instead. But after using his technique, creates a special dimension that taunts nearby enemies, lasting 10 seconds. After entering battle with the enemies, the special dimension, there is a 100% base chance to reduce each single enemy target's speed by 15% for 2 turns. Only one dimension created by allies can exist at one time. And what the team I'm about to show you, I think using welts technique will be a lot better than that. Get into the team guide I was gonna make you. So this is gonna be my team. Let me change this real quick. My team, what I'm gonna be using is probably going to be this. I'll use Luocha as a placer right now. So this, I think, is gonna be the best team. Instead of Luocha, you're gonna have Dr. Ratio, because my welt, your welt might not be as good as mine, because my welt has his Lycomb. So his effect rate, his effect hit rate is a lot increased, and I think I have about 27% effect hit rate, and then plus this light cone, which gives me another 18%. So it's pretty useful, but you have to use a skill, so that might be a downside of it. But what I might do is I might just change my welt, because right now he's a damage welt. He's going full DPS. I might change him to an effect hit rate body, and try to just get him to hit the effect hit rate and make sure he always gets the debuff off. He pretty much always does with this light cone, so it doesn't really matter for me. So you might have, if you don't have this light cone, you'll probably have to just build Welt as more of a supportive unit, because right now only way Welt really works is if he is a DPS, but he's not even that good at it. If there's one target, he's decent at it, but he's not insane. but I have his E1, so he definitely does a lot more damage than most people's will. So that's why I built him for damage. But that's my favorite team, which I think is going to be working is the best, is because Silverwolf has her innate talent. Let me see, is it talent or is it passive? I believe it's her. Let me see here. It's her talent. Yep. Silverwolf creates 3 types of bugs: attack debuff, defense debuff, and a speed debuff. And this triggers, I think, well, there's one every single time, like when they first spawn in to the map. You will always have one of these debuffs on them. So that's at least one debuff. So then, if you use Welt, his skill applies a debuff. I think it's a speed debuff. Yep, 73% base chance to hit a speed debuff, and then plus my effect hit rate, which is 27, and then the light cone, which is another 18% onto that. So it's a damn near 100% every time. So if you don't have Welt's light cone, you'll probably want to have to use an effect hit rate chest. I don't know. We'll see when Dr. Ratio comes out, because I think Silverwolf, if you have her, I think she's gonna be very, very, very good with Dr. Ratio just for the debuffs. And in this team, I mean, it depends. If you want to use Welt, I could also see this team being good, like Ruin Mei instead, or just using. And you don't have to use Fushuan. I just love Fushuan so much because I have her E1, so you don't have to use Fushuan. You could use any other, you know, preservation unit, but I just think this is gonna work the best because Silverwolf and then Fushuan, both quantum, and then 2 and 2, it just makes it so much better. I think that's probably gonna be the best team for her, but I don't know. We'll see when she comes out. I think that's my take on what the best team was going to be. I don't know if that actually will be, but that's what I think it will be, just because Silverwolf is so good for applying debuffs, and he gets more damage the more debuffs they have. So if you can get them to have, you know, say, Welt's debuff, and then his imprisonment, and then his slow, and then you have a defense reduction from Silverwolf, and then you have her bug defense, like from her ultimate, you have her defense shred, and then you have her defense bug, and then her speed bug, and then her attack reduce bug. That's like what, 6 or 7 debuffs, and that's already over what you need. So as long as you get 5 of those, like you can get as fast as you can, then your Dr. Ratio is gonna start popping off because he's gonna get an extra 15% crit chance and 30% crit damage. And then if you like me and you have E1 Fushuan, that's an extra 60% crit damage just for your characters doing their thing with their Dr. Ratio. So I think he's going to be a very good unit. I think he's going to be a very fun unit. I don't think he's going to be breaking the game anytime soon. I just think he's going to be very, very good because I mean, Silverwolf is definitely just a cracked unit with him just because of the debuffs that she can apply. She's going to be very good. I think that's probably going to be the best team from what I can see right now. Maybe something else comes out later, or maybe if there's different units that I don't have that might be good with her. I can't think of any other ones besides maybe Pella, but Pella might be pretty good because she has all those debuffs, but you pretty much only have the defense shred, and then I don't think her skill applies a debuff. Yeah, it just removes one buff from the enemy. So Pella will be okay. I don't know who else really applies any debuffs necessarily. I don't think there's really anyone else besides Silverwolf that really applies debuffs like that. I mean, I guess Gwenifine would be pretty good too, and then Luca could be good too, but I'm not really too sure about any of that. I don't know. I think for sure Silverwolf is going to be his best support. Debatably, Ruin Mei could be good because if you break their shields with him, then it'll have the imprisonment effect, so that'll be another debuff. But I think Silverwolf is probably just gonna be the best. So that's my take. This is what I think is the best team. I think it's gonna be Fushuan, Silverwolf, Welt, and then Dr. Ratio is gonna be very good, just because Welt is so good with this team. I mean, it's a double DPS. So it's whatever, and then you can use, if you wanted to, I can't do it, but you could use the Luocha instead of Fushuan, and that would work too. Or you could use Lynx instead of Fushuan if you have her. If you have Lynx, you could easily use Lynx. I have her E6, I just don't have her built because I have Fushuan, so you could easily use Lynx. Everyone has her, so this could be a good team too. That's what I think. Other than that, that's my take on Dr. Ratio. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be finding out pretty soon how good he is when he comes out in the next few days. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day.